Hello and welcome to Whitney Made It stencil tutorial video. In this video, I will be showing you how to make one of my most popular Realtor doormat designs. So let's hop right into it. So when you open up Cricut Design Space, this should be what you see. If you see anything that's different, you may have the wrong Cricut Design Space. But if you have this, let's go over here to your top right corner where it says New Project here. You want to click that and hit blank canvas. And it should take you to a screen like this. If you have grid lines, please do not worry. That is fine. You can have that. I don't know why this toolbar has already popped up, but I'm just going to hit this arrow just to get it out my way. Now, the first thing that I want to do, down here in my bottom left corner, you see this says 100% minus sign plus sign. Let's hit this minus sign to get it to about 25%. Just so that my screen is already zoomed out for me when I have to add the next thing to my screen. So let's go over to the left side. Let's go over here to shapes. We want to find the pointed square. There's a rectangle here that's rounded. There's a square here that's rounded. We don't want to use neither one of those. We want to use this pointed square here. Okay. So I click that, got that on my screen. I'm going to hit this arrow here to hide my toolbar. The next thing that I want to do, I want to look up here at the top and find size. Now, I've noticed that when I do my one-on-ones, a lot of people don't have it right here in the center. They have to come over here somewhere and hit more. So you may have to hit more to find size. But you want to go up to size and hit this lock box and unlock it. And then you want to type in the dimensions of the doormat that you will be working with. Not everyone uses a 30 by 18. Some people are using smaller or bigger. Whatever size you're using, just type that in. But in this video, I'm going to show you how to make your design on a standard doormat, which is a 30 by 18. So we're going to make the width 30 and we're going to make the height 18. Okay. So now that my width and my height is 30 and 18, I'm going to drag from the center. You see there's a plus sign here? I'm going to drag from the center and just bring it right here in front of me because I don't really want to work up to the left. I want to work right in front. You may ask, do I have to lock it back now, Whitney? No, you do not. This is not Canva. Canva, when you hit that lock button, things will lock back in place. And it is absolutely great to have that. But on here, no. That is not the case, and I hate it. But it is what it is. So the next step will be to go up here to your top left corner to where this black square is. You want to click that and change it to the color brown because we have a brown 30 by 18 inch doormat. So now for the design. We will come over here to text. Okay. Now I will say I probably won't use the same fonts because I really don't want y'all to copy my design exactly as it is. I kind of want you to make it your own. So I'm going to just do the layout and everything the same to still show you how to do it. But please make your designs the way you want it to look as far as the fonts. Okay. So now I'm going to type in welcome because that's the first portion at the top. I'm just going to make it a tad bit bigger for now. And I'm going to come over here to my left to where it says font, Cricut Sans, and we can just scroll through all of these fonts and figure out what font we want just for the word welcome. And you know, my welcome is a cursive, but what if you want a bold font? You don't want cursive. So you just choose whatever. And let's just say I do this Medina script. Let's say I use that one. Okay. Now that I have that, I'm going to come over here to where this gray square is, and I'm just going to change to the color black because at the end, that's what color it would be. Now I need to come back up to size and unlock it so that I can move my font around, like the width and the height, basically. Now, when you look at the word welcome, you see you have all these white squares around the word welcome. There's only 4 that I want you to ever use, no matter what kind of design you're doing, whether it's an image or text. Only use the 4 on the outside corners. So like this one here, right there, this one here, and this one. Don't use any of the other ones ever, okay? Only those 4. I'm just going to make this a little bit bigger. Now, if in the end I don't like this font, I'm going to change it because I can already tell. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and change it because I can tell that this is, it's going to make it a little bit harder only because the way that the W and the L and the M is dropping down so low. I kind of want it all on one line if possible. Let's see. Let's see if I can find another one. So let's just use that one. Now, that's not the best, but it's okay. We're going to work with it. So let's say we want to do welcome there, okay? Now what I do, I come over here to duplicate. We over to your right. Over to your right where the trash can is, hit that plus sign and just you have a double welcome. I'm going to double tap till it turns blue. I'm not going to hit the backspace. I'm just going to start typing to your future home, okay? Now I'm going to go back over to font and find another font that I want to use with this cursive text. You can find, like I said, any font you want. I'm just going to use this Avshalom, whatever that is. We're just going to use that one. And I'm just going to drag from this corner here and just make it smaller. This time I did not unlock it yet. I'm just making it smaller for now. And I usually don't use like specific measurements with my designs. I just kind of eyeball things. I just kind of play around with my design until I see it the way I want it to look, basically, if that makes sense. So I'm just going to size down a little bit smaller. Put that there, just like that, okay? And then I have the by, welcome to your future home, by. I duplicate the to your future home. I don't know if you caught that. Let me go back. I clicked on to your future home. I came over here and hit the duplicate button. I double clicked and I just typed in by. Okay. I just click over to the white space to get that off because sometimes it want to make my font bigger when that's not what I want to do yet. So I clicked over here to get the boxes off from around it. And I'm going to come back to hit by and now bring it up under there. And then if you have someone already that you're making this doormat for, you could come back up to welcome, duplicate it, and then type that person's name in. And for this video, I'll just type in my name. I put their name up under there, like so. And then I go back and duplicate the to your future home. And then I type in the brokerage information, double click. Wait till it turns blue. Now I got to come up with a brokerage name. Let's just say Whitney Made It, just for the sake of the video. And then I come over here and hit shift and make it to where I can create that line like that. And then I just type in a phone number. So I'll just do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now I have no idea why this font does a number like that. So because it's doing a number like that and we don't want it like that, I'm just going to go back over here and find a regular font. So I'm just going to type in Cricut Sans because that is the standard font over in Cricut. Okay. And I'm even going to change the to your future home back to Cricut Sans and the by to Cricut Sans. And I hope I didn't confuse any of you just then. So I only went back and changed the font because of how those numbers came out. I wanted it to stay a bold font and not that. It made it look like it was almost cursive. Okay. So now I'm just going to size this up, make it smaller. Put that up under there like so. Make everything look the way I want it to look. Might need to make the word by a little bit smaller. So I'm just dragging by that bottom right corner, making it smaller. Might need to make my name smaller. We want to have some spacing in between all the wording. We don't want it all cramped. Like you see how this is cramped? We don't want that. Give everything some breathing room. Okay. Now the only thing else I have to add is those lines that I be having going across here. Like so. We want to add that. Now how I do that is I click my square. How I know I'm clicking on my square is because it's green highlighted over here. Okay. And I'm going to duplicate that. So we hit that plus sign again. I'm going to drag it off of here. Okay. Click back on my square. Go up here and unlock it. Okay. We have it unlocked. We want to change it to the color black. Okay. And then I just kind of grab from this corner and kind of make it pretty thin. Thin and kind of short. Just like that. Now that measurement for my line, well, let me get it up here first just so I can make sure. See, like right there, too long. So we need to shorten it up some more. So maybe about there. Let's say about right there. And maybe a little bit thinner, let me see. So like that. So the measurement for this is 11.222 for the width, and the height is 0.178. Now that we have that line, I'm going to duplicate it, and I'm going to bring this one over here to this side, just like so. You kind of want to get the spacing in between here the same if possible. You might not get it perfect, but just kind of try to get as best as you can. So now that we have gotten this far, I'm going to create a line starting from here and go straight down, like highlighting it basically. So starting here and going straight down like that. What that does, it will capture the word welcome to your future home by the name and the information at the bottom. You can know that is because all of this over here is highlighted. The two things that isn't highlighted is the two lines, which is what you want. You don't want to highlight those two lines just yet. What we are about to do is center the wording, okay? So we're going to go up here to the top where it says align. And you want to hit center horizontally. This one here, second option. Hit that and then watch the font move. See how it shifted? We know that all the wording is now in the center. So now we need to go in and move our lines over a little bit more. So I'm going to click this one. I'm just going to bring it back just a little bit. This one needs to come forward a little bit. You can try to eyeball it to make sure that that area in between there is about the same. Sometimes it may be a little tricky because as you can see, it clicked on my entire doormat. If that happens, just click over here in the white space. So now what I do, I need to make sure that they are both vertically aligned. So I click one of the lines and I click the other line while holding down shift. Click the other one. I come back up here to align and I'm going to choose center vertically and you will see the lines move. So you see how one shifted down a little bit. Now I know that everything is the way that it needs to be as far as being centered. Okay. Now the next thing we want to do is go to combine weld. We will go, I'm going to hit command. You may have to hit shift. I'm going to hit all of these over here, everything except the square. I'm not going to choose this right here. I'm going to hit combine at your bottom right, combine, and then weld. Now this text is one piece. It's no more separate pieces. Okay. Now because I moved that to show you, I'm going to go back over here and hit undo so I can fix it back to the way that it was. Now that you have all of that welded, and every design has to be welded before you can slice it. So the slicing process is next. So if you have an image and text, you will have to basically click the image and click the text. Combine weld. Okay. If like right now, the slicing is grayed out. Well, it's not grayed out now because I didn't highlight it yet. But because I didn't highlight it, it's grayed out. If you ever see something like that when you're trying to slice it, it means your design hasn't been welded yet. Okay. So now I'm going to highlight all of this. And if you say, I cannot figure out how you highlighting it, because I have several people who can't do this. If you're one of those people, just come up here to where it says select all. You can click that and that will select all of it, the weld result and the square. Let's come back down to your bottom right and hit slice. Okay, now you have three slice results here. What I want you to do is just move things out the way. Just like that. You'll have a brown and a black piece right here. And you want to just delete both of those pieces of text. So I'm just going to highlight both at the same time. Come over here to my top right and hit that trash can. Get rid of that. Now you should only be left with this. Okay. Now I'm going to zoom in to 50%. We come back down to your bottom left and hit that plus sign to zoom it in. So your next main focus will be putting the lines in the inner pieces. Now, this is where it gets a lot of people, where it's kind of like, I don't really know what I'm looking for. So let's just focus on the word welcome for right now. When you look at the word welcome, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You have 5 inner pieces. So 5 pieces that could potentially be loose pieces once your machine cuts out the stencil, basically. So let me show you, for example. In the word welcome, let's look at that E. If you didn't have that inner piece in there, when you go to make your design, that is exactly how your E will look. Okay? Same thing for the L. If you didn't have the inner piece in that L, that is exactly how your design will look. When you look at an E, a lowercase e, you know that there's like an opening right there, basically. Even when you draw the letter E, there's an opening at the top. The same thing for this O here. There's 2 loose pieces in this O. Okay? You want to make sure that you have lines going through all inner pieces, through all of your text. So let's go ahead and do that now. We want to go back over here to shapes. We want to get the same pointed square. I'm going to hide that toolbar back. While the square is still a 2 by 2, I'm going to drag it over here to my design. Okay, drag it there. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to go up here to this lockbox. I'm going to unlock it. I want to change my height only for right now, to 0.12, enter. So you'll do height 0.12 and hit enter. You're going to take that line and you're going to put it right through that inner piece. Just like that. So that line is touching the L, and we don't want it touching the letters next to it. You always want your lines to also start over here in the black, going through that piece you're trying to hold and coming out on the other side. So always brown to brown, not white to white. So basically not like this. Some people get in the habit of doing that. That right there won't hold anything in place at all. It has to go brown to brown. So even brown to brown could look like this here. It's starting in the brown here and going into the brown of that inner piece. I prefer you to do it all the way across though. Just like that. Now, how I got that second line, I ended up clicking on that black line and hitting my plus sign to duplicate. Okay. I'm going to take this line, put it in that E, duplicate again, take this line, put it here, but I have to angle it. So I'm going to hover over this white square at the end, wait until that arrow turn like that. I'm going to stick it up. As you can see, I was almost finna mess up. I noticed that I'm clicking on my brown square instead of my line because this is highlighted. And I can see that this is clicked on because my white corners are there. So let's just say you try to move that line and you thinking you're clicking on the line and you mess up and you go like that. Oh my God, because it is going to happen. I'm going to promise you, it's going to happen. Just hit the undo button. That's it. If you make a mistake, hit the undo button. I'm going to try to click that line again, put it right there. It's too short, so I'm going to come back up here and unlock it. If it's already unlocked, perfect. But mine's, for some reason, always locked back. So unlock it. On the width side this time, hit that up arrow until it reaches across like that. Okay? Take one of these lines here and just keep duplicating because you're going to need several. I'm going to take each line and put it through my inner pieces. Put it through that O. Up, accidentally click on my brown square instead of the line. Bring it to that O. Take it to this R. Take one through the other R. And oh, my line is too long. It's touching the E. We do not want that. We're going to click that line, unlock it. On the width, hit the down arrow. Now we're not touching that E. Okay? Get you another line. Take it to the O over here. It's not really touching the M, but just in case it does touch it, let's just unlock it, hit the down button one time. Okay. Now we have the B. Keep clicking that brown square. We want to do this B now. Now for the B, I usually do a vertical line. So where it says here, rotate 0, I'm just going to add a 9 in front of the 0. 90-degree angle, enter. Put that line straight through there like that. It can get 2 and 1. Now we're going to move on to my name. We need a line in the H there. Okay. We want to do the E in Whitney. I need to unlock it. Hit that down button. Get me another line. Put it through the Y. Get another line. Put it through the C. Get my other one. Put it through that R. Get another one. Take it through the S. Line is too long. Unlock. Down arrow. We want to get this last line. Put it in my P. Now in my P, we do got this little piece here and this bigger piece. So we want to make sure that we're hitting both spots. So we can do it just like that. You don't really have to go all the way up. It'll secure it. It'll hold it. So that's fine too. So now we need to come down here to the bottom. Do the A and D. Now because that inner piece is a little bit smaller, I need my line to be a little thinner. So I won't unlock it this time. I'll just hit the down arrow. And you can tell that that line is a lot thinner than these here. Okay. So I'm going to click that and do the same thing to my D. Use that same line because it's already thin. Now unlock it. Hit that up arrow to get across. Duplicate again. Bring it to my number 4. I'm going to put it about right there. I'm trying to put it to where I don't have to make it shorter, so don't touch that 5. So we can put it about right there. I did zoom in to 75% now so you can see it better. Put it about right there. Duplicate it a few more times. Take it to the number 6. The number 8. Really, we can do number 8 vertical. So we can just do 2 and 1. Up, touch my brown square. And want to put it through just like that. Get another line. Take it through the number 9. And then these two are basically just extras. So once you put all your lines in place, it should look something like that. Okay. And I hope that you understand like the reason why the lines are in those places. Now the C, I didn't go all the way across. This right here is fine too. Just like I was saying with the L. You can't go brown to brown, like brown on the outside, brown on the inside of the inner piece. Or you can just go all the way across. Now, when it comes to me splitting these in 3 separate pieces, I may have to go back in and add more lines, depending on where I slice it at. So usually that's why I just say go all the way across so that you don't have to do more work at the end. But one of these I'll keep like that for just in case, because I don't know exactly where I'm going to slice it at once I get to that point. But now that you have all your lines where they need to be, in this case, you can't do select all, especially if you have 2 lines extra down here. You will have to just highlight your square basically with your words on it like that. Make sure you're not getting those 2 down there. Come down here to combine to your bottom right and choose weld. And now all of those lines are brown. Now that you can see how all of them are going through. Now let me go hit the arrow right quick. If you had made one that was too short, so let's just say this out here in home. Let's say you had did it like that right there, right? Let me highlight and weld again. The way that it looks right here is the way that it's going to look on your stencil. Okay? Your O, like your inner piece in your O, will only be holding on from one side, and you will have a little piece sticking out. When you make your doormat, that will show up. Basically. Now, it won't be a big deal. It's just something you have to go back in and fill in, basically. But it may look a little off-balanced, basically. So I'm going to hit undo, take that line all the way back across, come back and highlight all of it, combine, weld. Okay? Now, I'm going to use one of these lines, if I can click it, okay? And I'm going to slice up my design. If you don't have extra lines on your screen, just go back to shapes and get the pointed square, okay? So because I have this extra line, I'll just use this one. You want to go up here and unlock it. You want to make the width 11.5 and the height 22.5. And the reason for that is because your Cricut mat is a 12 by 24. That means your designs cannot be bigger than 11.5 and 23.5. But we don't really have to go to 23.5. I just cut it off at 22.5, okay? But when your machine cuts it, it's going to end up cutting it off at the 18, okay? So we have our rectangle here now. That's 11.5 by 22.5. We want to duplicate this rectangle 2 times so that we have 3 on the screen. Okay, I already duplicated. You see I got 3 and I got this. So I'm going to take one of these rectangles to the corner right here like that, to the corner. It's already going to the back. Usually when you first put it on there, it'll look like that. If it looks like that, then just go up to arrange and do send to back, because you want to be able to see exactly where your first piece will be sliced. Looking right here, it will slice it straight down through here. Now, sometimes, depending on what font you use and depending on, like, the name that you're going to put, you may have to come more to the left. You may have to come more to the right. It just all depends. In this case, if I slice it right here, it may make me have to add a line in the R. Maybe. Only because I can tell here that it's probably going to chip some of it off. And I will purposely do that just so I can show you, what it may look like depending on where you slice your pieces at. So once you have that there, you want to highlight this area here, and you want to hit slice. Once you hit slice, you want to just drag this piece over just a little bit. You can drag this one over here, wherever, just out the way. And then you have these 2 black pieces that are trash. So I highlight both at the same time, hit the trash, okay? Bring that back over. I'll come back to that. I'm going to take another rectangle, take it to the back, figure out where's the best place to slice it, where I don't have to do additional work. It will not matter that your stencils are not the same size. This one here says it's 11.391. This one could be smaller. It could be bigger. It won't matter, just as long as it doesn't exceed 11.5, basically. So I'm looking, and I think right up in here is the best place. It's going to be the best place. So if I do it right here, then I know that still this line on this side will still hold that inner piece. That's usually why I say just make it all the way across. Because if I had just did it one-sided and I split that, then I would have to go back in and add another line, basically. So I'm going to highlight this area. Oh, I did forget to mention something. When you're making your slices, when you're cutting them, basically, you want to make sure that you do have some black showing at the top. Like, don't have it down here. Have it up here where you can see some black. It don't have to be a lot, just some. So now we want to highlight this and slice. Okay. Pull that apart. Pull this apart. Delete these 2 blacks here. Okay. Now we're left with these 3 pieces. So now what I was saying to that R, it may actually be fine. So yeah, it is fine. Because sometimes if I had came in more towards the left, this would have made this portion here a lot thinner. And this line that we have here wouldn't have held that. But because I didn't go in too much, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. So we don't have to go back and do anything. So now looking at all these, it looks like everything is fine. We're good. We're good. Yeah, we're good. Let me see something. Okay, so yeah, that's one whole piece. So yeah, we're good. So that is how you will make this design. So now I'm going to just go as far as showing you what it looks like when you hit the make button. When you hit make, it'll ask you to save it. So you will save the design and it will take you to this screen here. Now I'm going to try to explain this the best way that I can. So I need you to visualize it with me, okay? Now, this is basically showing you your Cricut mat. Remember, your Cricut mat is a 12 by 24, okay? Your poster board is a 22 by 28, which means, of course, your poster board is way bigger than your Cricut mat. So you will only trim off, like, from top to bottom, if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. So let's just say you got your poster board. You put your poster board on your Cricut mat, and you're trying to figure out where to cut it at. So you're going to put your corner of your poster board on your Cricut mat. You will find where the number 12 is because this stencil starts at the corner of the grid. It goes all the way to the 12. So you're going to cut a little bit outside past the 12, straight down. Now, does it matter if it's Cricut? It does not matter on that edge there. Now you want to make sure that it's lined up, pretty good. But you want to cut from the 12 to straight down. You do not have to cut it at this 18 mark. You're only cutting it from up here to straight down. Okay? Wherever this is showing you, basically. Now, if you want to trim it off down here at the bottom, so be it. You can do that too. It won't hurt nothing. But I don't cut my bottom. My poster board hangs off at the bottom. Okay? We're going to cut number 2. Cut number 2 is a lot smaller. You're still starting at the corner of the grid line on your Cricut mat, but this time you're going to cut it down from the 9 to straight down to the bottom of the mat. And that's it. You don't have to trim off the bottom once again. You don't have to trim this area here. Just from the top to the bottom. Just straight down. Okay? Cut number 3. Corner of the grid. So you want to cut a little bit past the 10. Just in case you cut in too much and, it's because it's hard to cut a straight line. And we all can be honest there. So you can just cut like at 10 and a half. Find 10 and a half, cut straight down, and smooth that poster board out and put it into that machine. Okay? Your settings need to be on poster board. Okay? And then there are like some grooves on the Cricut machine. Make sure that Cricut mat is going under those grooves. You're going to hit the button that's flashing at you, which should be the arrow button. Once the machine reels that in, you will hit the C and it'll do its work. Now, when it gets done cutting it, you don't just yank it out. The arrow will flash. You will hit that arrow button and it'll, fall out for you, and you will begin to remove your stencil from the mat. Okay? Now, if none I just said makes sense, just shoot me an email and I will send you a video. I'll be glad to send you over a video that shows you that portion. Now, I hope this video helps you learn to create the Realtor design. I wish you the best of luck on your journey if you choose to sell to realtors, because they will definitely purchase. So thank you for your support, and please feel free to leave me a review.